Good morning, everyone. Once again, this is Andrea Weekly Oracle Tarot Reading. Today I'm using the deck of Alberto Bijoldo, Colette Baron Reed, and Marcela Lobo. Okay, this is a new deck. I believe I've done it before. Today I'm starting early. For those who like to an early morning. And let's see what the message for the week we have. Thank you for your support and patronage. Without you, most definitely would not be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My gratitude to all that always support each and every week. Okay? And if you happen to just stop by here, remember there's no such things as coincidence. Most likely, there's a message that it got something for you or for somebody you know, believe it or not. But if you can validate the message and you like to share with us, please feel free to do so. And without further ado, I'm just shoveling the card. I'm going to take a few cards and just tell you exactly what it means. Okay? Let's see what we got. And take it from there. The first card that I have is the corn. What does the corn represent? The corn, the first thing in nature can represent is most definitely harvest. It's card number 10. So that's a really good omen to her. So we're starting the week with something good. In this deck, it's a little bit different. The way that they design it, so the interpretation kind of goes a little different. They have like the essence of the card. They have the invitation of the card. They also have the medicine. But the medicine, you always kind of always read that version of their meaning when the card is in a negative way, meaning reverse. Okay? But the essence, going back, the corn represents the mother of substance and tangible abundance, like I said before. This symbol represents material prosperity in the world of form that provides stability and substance to many. There is more than enough. So you will have enough at starting the week. You're not going to have any scarcity of any sort. Okay? And the invitation, meaning that they give us, it says that you planted a beautiful field of dreams and work hard. Even in moments when you were losing faith, you continue. Now the spirit of the corn comes to honor this and show you a bountiful harvest. This is the time to reap the rewards of hard work and trust. Whether those rewards are financial or the kind of prosperity measured in quality rather than quantity. You are so blessed. Be thankful. Show gratitude. The symbol appears, and don't forget to share your good fortune, because remember, when you give, you shall receive. The next message that we have is the sacrifice, number 44. What does that mean? Okay, number 44. I like that number. 444. Kind of stability. Okay, home. That's what comes to mind when I see that number 44. And in essence, the meaning of the card says to sacrifice means to make sacred. The sacrifice is an offering of gratitude made from the heart, a feast of love prepared for spirit. In olden days, sacrifices sometimes involved ritual in which blood was offered to the god. For example, in the Bible, Yahweh preferred Abel's sacrifice of one of his lamb to Cain's offering of vegetable and fruit. But in Middle American, however, Quetzalcoatl, the Lord of the Dawn, came to teach that Spirit prefer our songs and our prayers to the blood of humans or animal, because that's animal. You gotta understand, it's sort of like why do we want to do that? It's sort of, we look at it in a way of abusing our animal, you know. So most definitely, that's definitely a nicer way of looking at it. Okay. And the invitation, okay, the meaning of the invitation, that way they call it. He said the sacrifice asks that you offer to the Spirit that which is most precious to you. Your offering will be sacrificed and returned tenfold. You will be elevated to the altar at which you have been praying and meet the divine at the table with the heavenly feast. You are a welcome guest in this banquet. Okay, your heart is the only worthy offering you can bring. Life has been generous with you in so many ways, and it's time to show gratitude to the gods, to whatever higher power you believe in. But remember, the most important thing is not the contents of the giving of the offering, but what you have in your heart. That's what is much valuable to them. And keep that in mind. Okay? The next message that we have is the Wild Woman, number 62. Remember, Shaman is just based on nature. So the meaning are a little bit different than traditional tarot deck. It's completely different, but it's extremely insightful. And if you really think about it, you will find that the meanings very insightful, for real. Okay? Now 62. I love number. Like I said, numerology. 6 as 2 is 8. 8 represents strength in the major arcana. 2, duality, love. And when you combine 6 and 2 is 8. Representing finance. Again, more prosperity and abundance in so many different ways. But let's see what they interpret it as, so how they interpret it. Okay, and we're going to go with the essence of the card. The essence of the card represents when the Wild Woman dances into your reading, she reminds you of the essence of authenticity and freedom. Divested of social constraints and cultural conformity, the Wild Woman holds up a mirror to your essential self, the true essence of who you are and who you are meant to become. She is a reminder of the bright light within each of us that gets dimmed by the restriction imposed upon us by the expectation of society. She reminds us that in order to be fully expressed into life, we must uncover that light and let it shine brightly, regardless of the perceived consequences. You gotta be authentic. You gotta be transparent about with who you are. And when you do that, you will feel yourself. You will feel free. And it's very important. And sometimes, for so long, we kind of constrain and hold on to not showing that. And we don't feel right. We don't have a happy life. But it's because we're holding back. But when we let it out free, then the whole perspective changes. It's sort of like we are awakening. Our eyes lit up. All the light lit up in our head. And then we can see the world with different set of eyes. With compassion, love. And see everything in it the way it really is. Oh my God. Now I'm going to go into the invitation meaning that she gave us. That they give us, because it's multiple people that designed this deck. and it really has very high rating. It says, when the wild woman comes to them in your reading, you are invited to shine brightly and to know that your true self is being called out to engage the world. This is a symbol that your long-held dreams is beginning to take root and wants to be expressed. Your authentic self doesn't fit in a box. It needs the freedom to shine. It's time to have courage and to step into the light. The wild woman says, shine brightly, dance with abandon, be yourself, and let the Great Spirit decide what happens. You'll be happy with you did. Why? Because remember, they're not always going to give us what we want and desire, but they're going to give us what we need and more, beyond our expectation. That's the wonderful things about it. The next card that we have right now is the Wind, number 63. 6 and 3, 9. 6 reverse is 9. 9 represents spirituality in numerology. So let's see what the meaning of that is. And the essence of the meaning represents, the symbol of the wind represents the element of air, of course. Zodiac sign Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Okay? It rules communication, thoughts, song, and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities, both positive and negative. The wind blows from each of the 4 directions, and there are different qualities based on by each. And they are present. You need to really pay attention to it. For instance, South, carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits, that parts of you that are no longer needed. That is a must for every new life as good changes come in. West, calling you to more introspection, to a willingness to make that final decision to let go of attachment and ego desire, because they're no longer servant. They're not good for you. Anyway, they only yield temporary results. North, moving to bring you wisdom and strength. East, carrying clarity of vision and purpose. Whichever way the wind is blowing for you right at this moment during this week, the message, which is the wind whisper, is shouts. It's a challenge. It may take courage at first to turn and face the wind, but you will find exultation in moving toward it and receiving its lessons. Lessons to be learned, no matter which direction you take, but it's definitely some positive lesson for you. The invitation message. It said, when the spirit of the wind comes calling, it is a sign of change. Perhaps you need to change your mind about something, and this will be a confirmation for you. Perhaps an old way of doing things has become automatic, and now that you are gaining greater clarity, you can make a new choice, regardless of what the change is. You can also expect to be understood and to have clear communication with others at this time. Ideas are solid, and the shift that is being called for in the highest good of all, definitely. So don't be afraid to show this, to declare it, to acknowledge it. And the last card is going to be water, number 61. Again, 6 and 1, 7. 1, new beginning. Element water. Zodiac sign Pisces. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. What does it mean? What is the essence meaning of this card? It said water symbolizes purification, generation, birth, revival, and cleansing. It signifies an evolutionary shift from former self to new self. Many myths around the world speak of a great flood and the new life that is revealed after a deluge. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. My accent, excuse me. Water begins without boundaries. Then as soon as form has separated itself from water, it comes under the law of time and life, thus acquiring limitation. But for goodness sake, to some kind of extent, we all have limitation. Things have limitation for the most part, okay? For some, more than for other. And that's the rule of nature. The invitation meaning. When water arrives, you are invited to watch your emotions. Know they are going to be changeable. And do not settle on a conclusion at this time. Remember, emotion only tells you how you feel. They do not provide fact. An element that is very important when making decisions. If you feel joy, feel that fully. If you feel sad, allow sadness to move through you. What I invite you to see the ebbs and flow of events and trust you that you can ride the wave of opportunity when it arises. Natural flow is here. Go with it. At the end result, you will content with what you have acquired. The invitation message on it. It says, when water arrives, you are invited to watch your emotion. Know they are going to be changeable and to do not settle on a conclusion at this time. If you feel joy, feel that fully. If you feel sad, allow sadness to move through you. Water invites you to see the ebb and flow of events and trust you can ride the wave of opportunity when it arises. Natural flow is here. Go with it. I just realized that I repeated the same thing. Why I did that, I really do not know. Okay, but it is what it is. If somebody kind of bothers that, I do apologize. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I hope you have enjoyed the message for the week. It's a little bit long because of its content, but it has a lot of insight that if you really think about it and evaluate things, they're going to get you some great advice and provide transparency and give you a lot of uplifting of the things that perhaps you never see before until today, but you will. Thank you for your support. I cannot be thankful enough. Gratitude most definitely to all of you. And until the next one, I hope you have a fantastic week. I remember this is the last week that I'll be here as I'm going on vacation from the 13th all the way to the 25th. I'll be back on the 26th. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. And until the next one, goodbye.